Facebook has been tracking the data now for many years, and on this one particular measure, they're just not making progress. Why not?
Not moving the needle. Yeah, I think that this is a question that we've been asking ourselves for a very long time in the tech industry. And of course, there's all of these like sophisticated answers you can try to get down to, but in an attempt to really simplify it into something really, really small, I'm going to say that it boils down to choices. At the end of the day, there are active choices that these companies and the leadership at these companies are continuing to make, which are going to move the direction in one way or another way, or keep it exactly the same. And if people are not fundamentally changing what their positions are and how they're approaching the work and how they're approaching their processes, these things they're not going to change.
So you've been looking really closely at how we can make real change at a systems level. And I wonder then, is your answer also simple to just make this a choice, make this a first priority?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd say from the systems change level, it's about how we bring a large group of people. We need a critical mass of people to come together under a shared set of values and morals and start to work toward a shared goal. I think that there's also a lot of fragmentation that we see across the industry and how we look at what kind of things people are advancing. I think that there's a lot of tension that's happening right now between the more ethical and moral behaviors that people would love to see more present in the tech industry, where people are actually really going after a culture of belonging and pluralism and understanding that there's actually a robustness and, in fact, a lot of economic growth that can be unlocked by us really figuring out how we make space for lots of different views and lots of different ways for people to show up in the industry. But the reality of it is, like, the status quo is still very, very much homogenous, and it very, very much shares a mindset that's just oriented towards growth, and that growth comes at any cost.
Absolutely. I mean, this is not just the right thing to do. This is the smart thing to do. It makes complete sense. And, building a diverse team means that you can build a product that truly serves a diverse group of people. Facebook is in the middle of this huge ad boycott right now and under a lot of pressure from civil rights leaders about not doing enough to stop hate on the platform. And I wonder, do you think if Facebook had more Black employees that Facebook would be struggling so much with hate?
I would like to say that the answer to that is yes, but I don't know that I actually believe that the answer to that is yes. I think it would be great if any tech company had more Black and brown employees in general. I think that people really benefit from those perspectives, but I've also seen this dynamic that happens all too often where people, if they do successfully, put more people of color or more diverse perspectives or people with more diverse backgrounds into the environment, it's a very toxic environment, and culturally it's not set up to have them be successful, and they end up just really being harmed by the environment that they're in. So I think that really what this boils down to is leadership. I mean, if I'm generalizing here, I would say that there is a scourge on society today, which is that we have so many terrible leaders in really important decision making roles, and everyone is feeling the pain because of it. And it goes all the way to the very tops of our governments all over the world. But to bring it back to Facebook, I think at the end of the day, and again, to tie that in with what I was saying earlier about choices, there are a series of choices that Mark Zuckerberg and Sheryl Sandberg and all of the rest of the leadership at Facebook get to make every day. They're showing up and they're deciding either by allowing certain things to continue or by trying something that is maybe what they think is incremental, but it's still not enough. And I think a lot of that really boils down to what is inherently a conflict of their business model, right? Like the business at the end of the day is there to serve its shareholders and return profits. And their business model is unfortunately really built off of visibility and optimizing that visibility and selling it to the highest bidder with very little moderation about who kind of gets that visibility. And so we're kind of seeing the really sad affects of that. I mean, it's really something that kind of accelerates and amplifies what seems to be really the worst parts of humanity. And I think that this very hands-off approach that Facebook tends to take and acting like it's neutral is really doing itself and everyone on the planet a disservice right now.